I forgot to put the link.
Wake up with the sunrise, laptop on the sun. Dreaming of a school drive, build it hand in hand. Some of us with the blueprint, wisdom in the flow. Keep it simple.
What's up, everybody? Have you ever wondered how the top 1% of school communities are using YouTube specifically to grow their communities? Well, I analyzed the top 5 communities in the money category of the Skool Games this quarter to find out exactly what they were doing with YouTube to help them grow their paid communities and their monthly recurring revenue so fast and faster than all the other communities in that category. So it's actually a lot less complicated than we all think. And today we're actually revealing their exact YouTube strategy. So we'll break down the niches that they're focused on, the specific audiences that they're targeting, how they choose their topics, which videos are helping them the most. And so if you've been wanting to learn how to use YouTube to grow your community, this episode will show you exactly how the top 1% are doing that so you can model them and model their strategies for your own communities. Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you can get this link and drop it into the community, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So just to get us started, we'll talk about the GHL or Go High Level community updates. Didn't really see anything coming through this week on Go High Level. With the school news, they really just went through a lot of the improvements that they're doing for the tiers. So tiers is one of the features that they released a couple of weeks ago, and they're just kind of dialing that in right now. And hopefully we'll be seeing analytics coming up really soon. Jeff, did you catch anything new that I might have missed?
Not on High Level. No, not this week, unfortunately.
That was Skool that I was just talking
about. On Skool? Skool was pretty good. I liked it. I thought the biggest thing was, Tony and Dean being on there for sure.
Well, I thought that was super interesting because previously they were on Go Collab and they were, front and center when you went on Go Collab. And so apparently, I guess they moved to Skool. So, if the big boys are kind of seeing the difference in value, I guess that's a huge sign that, there's a shift coming.
Exactly. I couldn't get that link, by the way. So I don't know if you want to.
It's all good. It's on our YouTube channel if you want to go there. But
okay.
All right, so this week in our 10K Community Bootcamp, our members were setting up their organic traffic systems, which, by the way, we are focused on YouTube. That's probably our best organic traffic channel. And so that is what we're using to grow our school communities from an organic traffic perspective. So what was really cool is that one of our students, Stacy, she's had a YouTube channel for a couple of months now, and she was averaging probably, a couple hundred views. I think her best video was like 300 views. Well, yesterday on our live call, she shared with us that she used our AI tool from the actual boot camp, and it helps her write some scripts. And she used that to write her previous script. And her most recent video just got 76,000 views, right? And so she had less than 100 subscribers before this video. And using our system, using our AI tools, she did this video. You can see it here, 76,000 views. And now she has over 2,800 subscribers from one video. That's the type of video that can really change your entire business. And so that's a lot of what we saw, the first go around when Alex Hormozi announced his investment in Skool. A lot of the people who had been talking about Skool in their YouTube videos saw a huge bump in traffic, and really, I think it changed their businesses. So that was really, really cool to see. I was very excited about that. Jeff, what'd you think?
No, I love watching people just do what we teach and then actually go make it happen. And then when the results come flooding in, I love it for them, but I also love it for all the people that are kind of just watching, right?
Right.
I think a lot of times people jump in to a community or they'll jump in a program and they just kind of want to sit back and watch. And I love when they're watching real results because it gets them to take action. So I was excited about her success because it's just creating a whole bunch of buzz on people are like, oh my gosh, we can do this. We need to do this. So yeah, that's definitely exciting.
Well, and it was really funny because she was like, man, I was bummed. I was kind of like, about ready to give up. And then I did this video. And then, like I said, it's all about being consistent. It's taking action. You can't give up. If you give up, then you're quitting and you're never going to see success. So, I mean, it's all about taking consistent action. And I love it when something like that kind of proves that point, right? So that was really, really cool to see. I was super excited about that. So also inside of Community Builders Elite this week, we just launched a couple of new tiers. Our premium tier, which is our $9.97 for the year, which comes with our 10K community boot camp. That's 8 weeks of live implementation. That's the thing that Stacy was going through when she actually hit that $76,000 or 76,000 view video. And so that's one of our newer tiers. And this 8-week boot camp is just awesome. We do it every single quarter, and you get full access to all those. And then we have also released our VIP, which is our completely done for you program, where we set up all of your systems, your community systems, and we do one-on-one coaching for 3 months. So we announced those new tiers. So that's cool. And then we actually kicked off a brand new weekly planning call on Fridays, where I jump on with our members and we write their YouTube scripts for the upcoming week. We write all of their community copy for the post for the following week. And we're kind of following this this structure here that we've created, this content plan. And so we've developed some AI tools that will actually write the YouTube scripts. This is the tool that Stacy used to write that video. And then we also have another tool that kind of creates all of those community posts for them. So some really cool releases this week inside of Community Builders Elite. Anything to add there, Jeff?
Well, I want to emphasize that, like, you built the AI tools, right? And she actually used that tool to actually do her video, right? And she had an amazing result. And I think it's a compliment to you for all the hard work you put into making these tools. But the fact is that they actually really work. And what's crazy is they get access to all them tools for $99 a month as part of the program. So it's just kind of crazy, like, again, just the value stack and what's being offered. And that, again, when you're using the tools, they're actually working. So kudos to her for sure. And kudos to you, man, for making just an amazing, amazing tool.
Well, thanks. Well, next weekend, our boot camp members are going to be setting up their paid traffic system. So that we're going to be helping them brainstorm and create their lead magnets that are going to help them attract people into their communities. It's going to help. We're going to actually create all their ad copy and their images. And then we're actually going to set up their first paid traffic campaigns, which is pretty cool. That's one of my favorite weeks of the entire boot camp, just because I know how big of a difference maker it can be if you can get some ads working for you. It's really helped us to kind of start scaling. Anything that you'd add there, Joe?
Yeah, no, I just definitely, I mean, I'm always a fan of paid, and I'm excited because we have a very simple approach to ads that work extremely well. And tied in with the community funnel, it's just one of the easiest marketing that I've ever done. So I'm excited for our people, obviously, to start implementing that. So it'll be a fun week for sure.
Cool. So let's get into today's content. So basically what I did is I went and I looked at the Skool Games leaders for this quarter in the money category. We polled our community to see which category they would like me to do a breakdown on first. And it was interesting. It was the most votes got money, I think, was first, and then self-help. So or self-improvement. So we'll probably do another episode on self-improvement here one of these days. If you guys are interested in that, drop us a comment and let us know what category you'd like to see. And we'll also try to break that down for you. So basically I went through each of these top 5 groups or communities, and then I broke down whether they were using YouTube, and 4 out of 5 of those communities are using YouTube as a main traffic source. I couldn't even figure out how this guy drives traffic. I just skipped him. So he's got some secret traffic strategies. But so I went through and I just broke down and analyzed each of their YouTube strategies in this document here. Now, if you're interested in this document, I've actually put it inside of our classroom at it's called Skool Games Codex in the free community. Now, this is a level 3 reward, so you have to get to level 3 to access this. But I'm going to be dropping all these analysis sheets into that course there, so you can access those. So let's kind of actually break this down. So the first one we're going to take a look at here is this Zach Ginn guy. Okay. I'm going to go to his channel here. And so this is Zach Ginn's channel. And he basically runs a real estate wholesaling business with his dad. And that is the kind of the niche here. And the audience is beginner wholesalers and then wholesalers who want to scale and make more money, right? So very niche. You know, he's in the money making market, right? And then he's in the niche of real estate, and then he's in the sub niche of real estate wholesaling. So as you'll see, a lot of these guys are very niche, and I think that's kind of important, especially when you're doing YouTube. You kind of have to pick a narrow niche and just be the person in that niche. Now, when we look at his video strategy, actually, let's kind of go through this document here. Let me go to the top here. So he has 146,000 subscribers. Again, he's in the real estate wholesaling niche, and he's targeting beginners with his content. And he's also targeting people in the wholesaling business that want to get more deals. A lot of his content is kind of focused on how do you get your deals. All right. So he's doing both long and short form. I really just analyzed the long form. They're also doing affiliate marketing. Everybody that's in the YouTube, that's using YouTube and the Skool Games, are also promoting affiliate products, which if you have a big YouTube channel, you should certainly do that because it's definitely going to give you some extra money. So any products that you're using, software, anything you're promoting, always get an affiliate link for that product, and then make sure you're dropping it into your description so you can make some extra money in addition to what you're making with your community. Their CTA strategy is they link to their free community. So they have a free community. It's got 56,000 members, and then that leads into and helps them convert people into their paid community, which is marketing to millions. And they've generated new MRR 41,800 and total MRR 41,900. So they just started their community, it looks like. And so they had the audience kind of pre-built, right? They already had the audience, and they might have had this free one for a while, and then they just decided to launch this paid one. So the topics that they kind of talk about and have done really well for them, I noticed, was leveraging kind of the AI trend. So some different topics here. This one is one of their ones that's an outlier here. This is a outlier score. So I'm using an extension called vidIQ, and I'll drop it into the description of this video so you guys can check it out. But it shows you the videos that have outperformed all the other videos on their channel. So this is basically saying that this video here got 9 times the views that a typical video on this channel received. And so that just helps you to spot, you know, some of the best topics that they're doing. So a lot of like AI videos, those were the ones that kind of stood out. Also, and this is kind of a theme with all of the actual people in the top 5, are these case study videos, both personal proof where they just show like how they are making all this money, and then also a lot of client interviews. Like that is a big strategy for a lot of people. I'm getting some scratching, Jeff. Yeah. So client interviews, case studies where they actually interview one of their clients that got a lot of success. And that's a lot of their videos too. So you can see them kind of here. Let me show you a few of those. Like this one here, you can see it's an outlier. You can see this one here. And just a lot of these kind of sprinkled around, another one here. And so these are a lot of case study videos, and then a lot of them actually demoing, doing cold calls live to get wholesaling. So that's another strategy, and a lot of like how-to videos. So that's basically kind of what I'm seeing there for that Zach Ginn guy. Anything jump out at you on that strategy? I know you're a real estate guy, so
yeah, no, I think the live calls are pretty cool, you know, because obviously, you know, there's a chance that they record all of them. They only post the good ones, but I think that just shows like it happening live, and it really helps people probably get over some of the nerves of doing it. So I think they're, taking people whatever stage they're in, new or experienced, and they're really helping them kind of break down some of the barriers in that specific industry. And I know one of the hard things is getting on a call with somebody, right, and actually asking them about their property. So I like the fact to go right in after, like one of the core, I guess, pain points of getting into that industry, which is actually, trying to get the deals and getting on the phone with people, and they like head it right off at the pass, and they actually show people how easy it is to be done. So really cool strategy, and obviously it's working well. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, finding the deals. Obviously, that's a big topic for them. And I'll show you another guy that also is in the top 5 that's in wholesaling and also finding deals. So understanding like what are those key common struggles that your audience has, and then creating content around that. Like that's what we do around, people struggle to get traffic for their communities. They struggle to launch their communities. So just zeroing in and really understanding your audience and where they're struggling the most. So also just the case studies. That was a big takeaway for me for a lot of these guys. All right. So the next one we're going to go over is, let's go back to the games here. Spencer, I forgot his last. Oh, actually, let's actually take a look at their About Us page too for the Gin guy. So nothing huge here, but I would say that I see this like another common theme that I'm seeing on the actual about pages for these guys are strong proof, right? 8-figure wholesaling business, tens of thousands of students, thousands of students over 300,000, 100 over 7 figures, world's best real estate. So a lot of proof right there, and you'll see it. That's a common theme on a lot of these about pages. And then, what all they're giving away inside of the community. So the course, free community of wholesalers, seller lists, so they can find those deals, repair costs, so they can analyze the deals. So these are like great lead magnets, right? We talk about that all the time, is lead magnets to get people into the community. These are all like just perfect lead magnets. So again, that is the free community. And so they are linking to their free community in their YouTube videos. All right. And that's helping them to grow their paid community. Now, the next guy is Spencer Poliu. I think that I'm probably butchering that. Now, Spencer, I don't know if you guys know this, but he is the GOAT on Skool Games. So he's generated the most MRR. He has the most MRR of all the people, all the communities on Skool. But the community he is promoting right now is his second paid community. His other paid community is the one that he's the GOAT on. I think he's bringing in like $400,000 a month. But this one is a new one, I guess, that he launched, or just a lesser version of this one. So this community that he is currently in the top of the Skool Games for is called Origins, and it's for e-com stores between 0 to 100,000, 100K in monthly sales. So he's got his Origins paid community, which is for people that are kind of more beginners. I mean, I wouldn't say $100,000 a month as beginners, but from 0 to 100,000. And then he has his Evolve community, which is the one that he's the GOAT and made the most MRR for. And that is also a paid community. And that one is to scale past 100,000. So if I go to let's go to his profile here, you can see Origins, $98 a month. And he's got Evolve, which are people scaling past $100,000 a month. For $12.50 per month. Okay. So he's got 2 good paid communities. That's a smart strategy, especially, a lot of these people can't afford, a lot of the beginners can't afford that. So he's got the smaller tier for the beginners. So if we go to his channel, and by the way, he also has, let's see, I think I might have lost it, but if you go to Schoolers, he has a really good post. Let me open it up here, right here, that shows how it's really long. It's like super long, showing his strategy on how he went from 0 to $400,000 per month with his Skool communities. And his big strategy, this is not related to YouTube, but his big strategy is actually using Twitter, which I'm very interested in checking out this presentation. He dropped his presentation here on how he's using Twitter to grow his community. But let's go back to our main topic today, and let's talk about his YouTube strategy. All right. So if we break down his YouTube strategy, again, he is targeting Facebook. His niche is Facebook ads for e-commerce and Shopify. So his audience is e-commerce stores looking to scale with ads. So he talks a lot. He does both short and long form. He also does affiliate marketing. So he's promoting other products and services that he can get a commission on, which is smart. In his call to action strategy is he's linking to both of his paid communities in his videos. So he has links to both of his communities, and then he has a bunch of affiliate links in there. Now his topic mix, and he even mentions this in the post that he did in Schoolers, one of the biggest strategies that has helped him to grow his community is these case study videos that he does with his clients. So he said he basically said that's one of the main reasons that he's been able to grow so big. Like that's a huge part of his strategy is these case study videos. And if you remember from the guy in number 1 spot, he's also doing these case study videos. So again, that was my takeaway from just watching all of these people. They're doing a lot of case study videos with their clients that are getting the great results. So definitely need to integrate that into your strategy. Okay. So the other ones for this is also, he does case studies both from the client interview perspective, a lot of those, that's a main one for his strategy. And then he also does a lot of personal proof. So just how I got these numbers. And it's all centered around, like we said, e-commerce store owners, which is what his community is about. He does a lot of how-to tutorials where he opens up like Facebook Ads Manager and he does some type of setting up ads or shows results back there, which is probably another kind of model of the case study type of video. He's probably showing, subtly showing all the results that he's getting with this Facebook ad strategy. And then he's got some aspirational videos for e-com owners. So you kind of see, we scroll through here. A lot of these are kind of opening up Facebook Ads Manager. He's showing different ad angles here. So lots of different stuff like that. Here's another one where he's showing, him opening up Ads Manager. And these are the ones that are the outliers if you look at those. All right, so that's Spencer. And if we go to his page here, we can see another we can see some patterns here, okay? So one thing, he has a really strong promise at the top here. So made to scale beginners to 100,000 per month on Shopify with Facebook ads. Very straightforward, big promise of helping you go from 0 to 100K per month. Also, he's got his proof here. So created by Spencer Polio and blah, blah, blah. Founders of Evolve with over 200 million generated on Shopify. Same guys who helped 20 Evolve students scale past $100,000 per day. So promise, proof, most programs are copy and paste. Origins teaches you the fundamentals of why behind. So it's getting into what they're going to teach you and then what's included. And then a little scarcity and urgency here. Program is 95% built. This is early access at the lowest price you'll see it. Prices increase every 1 to 2 weeks as new modules drop. So definitely some urgency there. And a little bonus here. So that's Spencer. He's crushing it. And again, that case study videos is a big driver for him. Next guy is this Maximilian guy. He is also in the real estate wholesaling space, and he's got some interesting strategies. He's generated 19,000 in new monthly recurring revenue. He's got a smaller channel than the rest of the guys, 13,700. He also is in the real estate niche, and his target audience is beginners wanting to get started in wholesaling. He's doing both short and long form. He's doing affiliate marketing just like everybody else. And his strategy is pretty interesting. He does not link to his about page, which I thought was interesting. I don't know why that is. He has like a buffer page between the two. So he links to his landing page in his descriptions with a video sales letter on it. And then he goes to Skool about page. I actually bet there's some friction there. I bet if he just pointed it straight to the about page, he would probably be making even more money. But who am I to say? So if we look at his videos, what I found interesting about his videos is, so if we go to his most popular videos, this one right here, this AI plus Zillow. So a lot of these guys are leveraging like the AI trend, as they should, because it's very popular right now. But if you look at this video here, and I don't know who did it first. Let's see, this guy. Well, I do know who did it first. But if I look at his video, and then I go and I look at the Gin guy, you can see 9 days ago, AI plus Zillow strategy finds wholesaling deals in minutes. And then this guy did it, 7 months ago, and that was one of his best videos. So you can see these guys are kind of modeling each other. He also did an interview with Gin here. If we look, I just saw this when I was scrolling through. This guy right here, that's the Maximilian guy. So he might be a student of the Zach Finn guy. So also what I found he was leveraging is name recognition. So he's leveraging names of software, right? He's also leveraging other investors, popular investors. So like Richard Taylor here, Zach Ginn, who we just talked about. Also Pace Morby, who's big in the real estate marketing space or real estate space. So he's leveraging celebrity, right? And that's kind of, it looks like that's how he kicked his channel off and started getting some traction. And then his newest videos, if we go back to the strategy document here, are how-to tutorials, get your first deal. Again, that seems to be a popular topic, knowing your target audience, knowing what those big pain points are, and just doubling down on the ones that get the most views, right? And then he does a lot of these, I tried this, I started this, I tried Investor Lift. I bought every real estate wholesaling course. I tried Google PPC. So he does a lot of that. And you can kind of you can go to these channels of these top Skool Games winners and just look at the title formulas that they're using, because you can use these formulas with pretty much any niche. So it would be interesting and something you can do that I'll show you in a second. But I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's basically his strategy. And if we go to his about page, you can see he's got a strong promise here. Flip your first real estate contract in 30 days. So he's really focusing on beginners right there. So that seems to be his niche. And if you look at the Ginn guy versus this guy, the Ginn guy is more established. So he's got a lot more credibility. So he can go after people that aren't necessarily beginners, but he does focus on beginners. This guy is probably a little bit newer to the game. And so he's focusing in on beginners, right? So he's carving out his own niche versus his competitors out there, right? So it's also, he's talking about here things that they may have tried in the past. Again, back into the promise. Here it shows his proof. So we've got promise, proof. If you follow Hormozi's kind of proof promise path, a lot of these people have the promise and then the proof afterwards. This is kind of how we write our ads also, which is interesting. And then he shows you the value of the courses here. Again, a lot of these are lead magnets. And so that is kind of his strategy and his about page. And then the final guy we're going to talk about is this Master Yole. So I'll use the document here. Let me scroll down here. So he has a free community that's pretty large. I can't remember how big it is. And then he also has his paid community. Okay. And he has generated the most MRR of all these guys besides the Spencer guy who has another community. But this community has generated a total of $100,000 in MRR. And then this quarter, he's generated $17,000 or basically $18,000 more. His YouTube channel has 69,000 subscribers, and his niche is synthetic index trading. So again, he's in the money-making niche. He's in the trading niche, sub-niche, or he's in the money-making market. He's in the trading niche, and then he's in the sub-niche of index trading, And then he's in the sub niche synthetic index trading. So he's getting real granular, especially with his YouTube channel. So his audience is synthetic index traders. He uses short and long form. Again, he does affiliate marketing. And his strategy is he links to his paid community in his description, which is kind of a trend for most of these guys. Some of them, if they have a free community, link to the free community. Now, one thing that's interesting about him is his first language is Spanish, obviously, but he's also doing these English videos. But if you go to the English videos, it's just an AI voice translating his Spanish video. So it's pretty smart because obviously he could, grow faster if he's doing videos in both markets, in both languages. And so that's how he's able to accomplish that, is he has some kind of voice, AI voice that just translate what he's saying in Spanish into English, and it's just dubbed over, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now, again, if we go to his topic mix here, you're going to see a lot of like just proof type videos. So, he'll show how much he's making. He'll show you kind of the trade after it happened. He'll show you the chart and everything like that, and just go through a bunch of different trades. And then he'll show proof of all his members who are getting all these great results. And then again, he does these interviews with his students that are doing really, really well. So these case study type videos. And that is my biggest takeaway from this whole thing, is that most of these guys in the top 5 are all doing case study videos with their clients. That's a major theme. That was the theme across, I think, all of the people that we kind of analyzed today. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And yeah, so that's him. So I cannot read his about page, so I can't tell you what he's doing on his about page, but he's crushing it. So that was pretty cool. What I was going to teach you here is, if you want to create these formulas for YouTube, you can go to these guys' page. I'm not going to go to his page because I can't read it, but let's just say I wanted to take this guy's formulas, because I think he does have some good kind of video title formulas. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go here, and then I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I'll get all the titles in there. I'll save it. And then I can go to ChatGPT, and I can say, can you create plug and play YouTube title formulas from the videos from the titles in this image. And then I can upload the image here. And you can do this from any influencer or YouTube creator out there. And let me just hit that real quick. And while that's kind of loading, Jeff, anything pop out at you of any of that analysis?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that is super clear is that the idea of case studies, because I think everyone understands, like, we're in this trust recession, right? Where there's been so many people, unfortunately, who have tried online or bought stuff online and just didn't get the results, or it didn't work. And so people are just a little bit leery. So I think the idea of building your entire YouTube channel on this idea of, here's, success stories of people I've worked with, here's the success stories that I've done. It just really cements this idea that if you work with, them, that they have the proof, and they've been doing it for a while. And, that is what ultimately can build some of that trust. So I think that it's interesting that the top people are using a mass amount of those case studies. I think that's a big takeaway, just to kind of say, hey, especially if you're new, even more reason to, run a beta group or run your first group and try to get as many testimonials and or case studies you can out of that, because it seems like that's the common thread, which is people want to, basically trust the fact that, you are who you say you are, and you can provide and do what you say you can do. And they have literally, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views on their YouTube channel prove it. So I think that's something that, when you're starting out, it's a little bit hard, because if you're new, you don't have all that. So I think that what you just did, which is really cool, just showing that technique in chat, where you can kind of take these best, titles and kind of create some videos that maybe aren't the case studies, but can use the other things that are out there, which is, just kind of showing behind the scenes or some of the other techniques out there, and get, people start following you. And then the best thing to do is, ultimately, Frank Kern says the best, right? Show people you can help them by actually helping them. So I think that's why, integrating either one-on-one calls or group calls, where you're actually helping people on the call itself, giving them a chance to build that trust, because not everybody has the ability to, have a 100,000 people following them on YouTube, right? But since you have to start somewhere, you've just modeled 5 perfect examples of that all come, together, ultimately with case studies, showing behind the scenes, giving proof, showing results, bottom line, because that's what ultimately people want, right? To buy results.
Yeah. If I had to give my biggest takeaways, it would definitely be the case studies, number one. Case study videos, number one. Leveraging celebrity or name recognition, so softwares or people that are kind of famous in your niche, and just talking about them. And then the About Us page, promise, having a good, strong promise of what they're going to get when they join of what the outcome that they're going to get when they join the community, and then proof statement. Those seem to be the pattern with the About Us page. And then, some bullet points on what's included. And a lot of those include some really strong lead magnets that help people with those different struggles that you understand. And then also, the other thing I would say is getting super clear on your sub niche, potentially, specifically for YouTube, because again, a lot of these people are in the money market, and then they go down into the, I guess you say, niche. And then within that niche, they found a little sliver of a sub niche. And then that's how they've been able to grow so well on YouTube. So I'll show you kind of the final result of what that looked like from the little title thing. So basically, if you've missed this, I went to this guy's channel, and I took a screenshot of all these video titles here. And I went to YouTube and I said, hey, can you create plug and play YouTube title formulas from the titles in this image? And then it basically took those videos and created a bunch of plug and play templates. And it actually knows me and what I've been talking with it about. And it gave me a bunch of ideas for YouTube topics here. So if you've been playing with ChatGPT for a while and it kind of knows what you do, then you can take it and take a screenshot of, one of these channels or some of the other channels in the actual Skool Games, and then get it to come up with a bunch of YouTube title for videos for you. So that's a quick hack for helping you come up with a bunch of ideas for your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's incredible, brother. It's just crazy how fast you can do something like that. And I want to just add one little thing too, for those of you that are starting out, that you're new, right? Is when Ron was showing you that, he showed you that a lot of people were driving directly from their YouTube channel to their paid About Us page. Now, I would encourage you to think about the idea of going from your YouTube channel, especially if you're new, driving to a free community where you can ultimately build that trust. See, those guys that have been doing this, they've got years of videos. They've been doing this for quite some time. They have, tens of thousands of followers, 100,000 followers. They're probably well known enough at this point to have a big enough following that they can drive traffic directly from YouTube to their paid community, because they're well known, and people have been watching videos of them probably for, maybe a couple of years, right? So if you're new at this game, and again, we have a chance to work with new people as well as some very established people, what I would say is I would encourage you to consider your YouTube channel. Even if you're starting out, drive to your free community, have an amazing lead magnet, okay? Because that's why people want to join, is something of value for them. And then when they come into that free community, again, just offer value. And then from the free community, then go through a process to move them into your paid products. So I think that's kind of another takeaway that I would say from that, is that most of them were going to a paid community from their traffic. And they're almost using YouTube as a free community in a way. I don't think that's the best topic, especially if you're starting out, but it's obviously working for them.
Yeah.
But I would say if you're starting out, I would go to a free community.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off of that, like you said, they're able to do the case study videos and the kind of just showing a bunch of proof, and they can drive that to their paid community, because that's enough convincing or trust and authority building to get them to purchase, right? But if you are starting out, you don't have the case studies, you don't have the proof, then you need something else that's going to attract them into your community. And that's where those lead magnets come in, because if you can create a really strong lead magnet that solves, like, if you know, they're like, for instance, if you were doing real estate, you were wholesaling, you were just starting out, you didn't have the case studies or anything, but you had gotten some results yourself, but you created this awesome, you know, this awesome checklist or cheat sheet or AI tool that helps you to get deals, which is the main struggle or find deals, which is the main struggle that niche is dealing with. If you had an AI tool inside of your community that basically automatically went out and got deals for people, they'd probably join your community, even though you didn't have the proof, even though you didn't have, you know, the case studies and things like that. So lead magnets and things that are going to attract people into your community is a great way to grow your community if you're just getting started versus having a bunch of case studies and proof. So, well, cool, Jeff. Well, thanks for this one. I think this was, hopefully people enjoyed it and got some tips from it. But next week, I'm thinking we'll talk about some paid stuff since that's what we're doing in our 10K boot camp. So if you guys want to learn some paid strategies next week, that's what we'll be talking about. And hopefully we'll see y'all same channel, same time. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.